The world is in debt, almost to the tune of $320 trillion. And who owes this debt? Well, everyone, from households to governments. A cost of living crisis has gripped the globe. Inflation is rising, so people are borrowing more, and so are governments. But how much debt is too much debt? And when does this debt become unsustainable? That is one side of our next story. Here's the other side. As the global economy struggles, the rich are only getting richer. Their numbers are rising to record highs. The world has never had so many rich people before. Our next report explains why.
2 wars, multiple conflicts, inflation, a cost of living crisis. The global economy is going through a lot. It is on course to record its worst half-decade of growth in 30 years. But that isn't affecting the wealthy. The world's richest are only getting richer. Look at the high net worth individuals. That's those with investable assets of $1 million. Their numbers have gone up by almost 5.1%. There are now 22.8 million high net worth individuals in the world. As for their wealth, it's risen to $86.8 trillion, an increase of almost 5% since 2023. Since 2020, the world's 5 richest men have doubled their fortune. They are now worth $869 billion. This way, the world may have its first trillionaire in a decade. Since 2020, the world's billionaires are richer by $3 trillion. Their wealth has grown thrice the rate of inflation. But what's also increasing is the gap between the rich and the poor. People are working more jobs. They are working longer. But their wealth is declining. Right now, it will take 229 years for the world to eradicate poverty. And debt is piling up as well. The world is in debt to the tune of almost $320 trillion. Now, the world has a population of 8.1 billion. Divide the debt among all of them, and it's still $39,000 per person. Imagine that. This total debt of almost $320 trillion combines borrowings from households, businesses, and governments. Household debt covers your loans, mortgages, and credit card debt. In 2024, it was worth $59 trillion. Then there's business debt, money that companies use to finance their operations. That stands at $164 trillion. And lastly, there's government debt. It hit a record $97 trillion in 2023, and nearly 1/3 of it is owed by developing nations. And with the borrowing increasing, interest on public debt has jumped to $847 billion last year. 1 in 3 countries is spending more on paying interest than on healthcare, education, and climate action. Now, the world has long been in debt, and it's only increasing. But the question is, how much debt is too much debt? When does it become unsustainable? Debts are often risky, especially for smaller economies. Plus, in an unstable world, it puts many people on the edge. One crisis could tip many countries over the line.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global South. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.